Hi everybody, this is Chad the Gaming Dad back with you once again here on Dad's Games for another Friday Father Knows Best. And this week, it's all about reviews and review scores. So, this week there's been two big releases on the PS4. One being Uncharted 4 and then Doom. Doom 4, whatever you want to call it. It's just called Doom. So, what I want to talk about, I did a review, sort of a first impressions review on Uncharted 4, and I've seen a bunch of reviews from the big sites out there and all these people who got advanced copies and have been playing the game for a long time. I don't get any advanced copies or anything like that. I go to the store just like everybody else does and buy the game. So I've been playing it a day and a half before I could do a video about it. And I gave you all my thoughts as good as I could at the time. That's why it's a first impression. Anyway, I want to talk this week about review scores and how really they're kind of pointless. Everybody fights over the review scores. Everybody argues about it. And I know, I guess it's a big deal in the industry because of Metacritic and all that. But let's break it down a little bit. Let's just break it down. A review score is written by one single person. And to me, the only person that score really means anything to is that person. So, take, for example, if I review Uncharted 4 and I give it 10 out of 10, that means that it was a 10 out of 10 to me. And that's it. Doesn't mean that you're going to like it. Doesn't mean that anybody else is going to like it. There's probably going to be some people who agree, and then there'll be some people who don't agree. So when you watch my reviews, I don't do scores. I tell you kind of whether I like it or not. You can usually get the gist of it by how I'm talking about the game, if I'm excited about it or if I'm bored by it. I'll tell you if I like it. But I will also look at the pros and cons, because every game has some kind of merit. Even a terrible, terrible game that people love to just hate. Seems like there are some games out there who just get the hate because that's the game that everybody's supposed to hate. Even those games have people who love them. So when I do a review, I'm trying to give you what I think would be some type of person or some sort of gamer that would like this kind of game, and some people who would not like the game, because there's always both sides. And then in the middle, somewhere, you can see if I liked it or not. But again, that really doesn't matter to anyone but me. If you find yourself agreeing with me or agreeing with some other reviewer, then maybe that's someone you want to listen to because they think similarly to you. And then that'll help you decide whether a game's good or not. But this whole thing with the review scores and everybody's going crazy about it. Uncharted 4 got all these high reviews from all the big sites, and of course there's people that say that, oh, these sites were paid off by Sony to make sure they give a good review. I don't know if that's true. I'm sure it's happened. I mean, we live in a world where that has to have happened at least once, probably lots of times. But I like to try to believe that it doesn't happen every time. And the other big game that came out this week is Doom. It actually just came out today on Friday. I just went and picked it up at lunchtime. There are no reviews for this because there were no review copies sent out. Nobody got review copies, and no one was allowed really to play this game outside of a couple events where they had it set up for people to check it out. You know, the NVIDIA thing, I think, had it running too to show off the new card. But that's not such a bad thing. I mean, it can be, because the review sites don't get the reviews out before the game is there. And so people don't really know whether or not it's going to be good. But again, don't trust these guys. The thing that people are skeptical about when it comes to games that don't do review copies and get things out early is that maybe they're hiding something. Maybe they think the game's no good and they don't want it out there because they don't want to ruin their day one sales. That happens too. I actually haven't even played the Doom game yet, but I've watched some people playing it online, and there are some that love it and some that don't love it, just like anything else. Gonna have to make my own mind up for this, and I will see. Yeah, really the big controversy with Doom is that they didn't give out review copies, and so it's not just for the consumer. You have to understand a lot of these sites, the IGNs and the GameSpots and the big YouTubers that usually get free copies of the game ahead of time, they're mad because they can't corner the market this week on reviews because everybody's getting the game at the same time. So they don't like it because normally they're used to being able to produce content before anybody else and get more views that way. So you kind of have to look at it like that too, that these guys, although they like to say that they're fighting for the rights of the gamers and stuff, they just want to get their stuff out early, just like everybody does, so that they can be relevant and people can watch their video. It's crazy. But what I think is happening here is, think about movies. The last time you got really excited for a movie or something, okay? And you watch the Oscars maybe. I don't watch the Oscars, but if I did watch the Oscars, usually what you see there is the critics loving something that nobody really watched. They'll say, oh, it was beautiful, it had cinematography, the colors, the use of the wind, and this, whatever. They'd nitpick it to these little details that the general masses are not paying any attention to whatsoever. And then they say it's the film of the year. They get the Oscar for the best film of the year, okay? But what if you're like me? What if you just like Deadpool? Huh? I like Deadpool a lot. In fact, I really like Deadpool. That's not going to win film of the year at the Oscars.
Did you say Oscar?
It should, but it's not going to. You see where I'm going here. So that's what seemed like the big deal to me this week. That's what I wanted to talk about here on Father Knows Best. Make sure you be your own person. Make up your own mind about things, not just games, but everything. You don't have to follow along with what anybody else thinks is cool. If you like it and it's good, that's all you need. Be yourself. It's a better way to be. So, with that said, remember everyone, you never outgrow video games. I am Chad the Gaming Dad, and this is Dad's Games. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next one. So long, everybody.